Hello everyone, my name is Star, and today I want to talk about my story with how I recovered from my binging and purging addiction. So, I know I've talked about a lot about ARFID, which is avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, which is I don't know if I'm diagnosed with that or not, but I have been told that I have alarming symptoms of that by a psychiatrist. So I don't know if it actually is a official diagnosis or not. But I want to talk about my story with how I recovered from binging and purging. I do suspect it could be bulimia, although it could definitely be any eating disorder under the sun. I've pretty much struggled with every single eating disorder symptom you could possibly think of that's under the sun. So for those of you guys who don't know, in 2020 is when I started having really fucking bad eating disorder symptoms. Like, I've had eating disorder symptoms quite literally since the day I was born. Like, as a baby, I couldn't breastfeed or eat or drink most things because my brain kept sending the wrong signals telling me that food is not edible, which is a symptom of ARFID, which is avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. It's a eating disorder that kinda is very different from most eating disorders. When people think of eating disorders, people think of people who think they are overweight, who either force themselves to throw up or starve themselves. But eating disorders can also have nothing to do with weight. Some people have eating disorder because they're afraid that if they do eat, something bad could happen to their loved ones. For me, I'm afraid of eating food because I'm afraid that I'll get sick or someone in my life will die, or both, or I could have an allergic reaction, or I won't like it, or someone else in my life will hate me for eating it. And sometimes I just find most foods absolutely repulsive. I cannot go into, one big trigger food of mine is mashed potatoes. I fucking hate mashed potatoes. Oh my god, I fucking hate it. If I'm in a room with mashed potatoes for too long, I'll literally start crying. I'm not kidding, I will start crying. So, before we begin, I will have to explain a couple things. Keep in mind, I am 100% pro-recovery. I'm going to make that very clear right now. And also, please don't do any of the things I mentioned. It could actually damage your body, and it could actually kill you. And it could do all kinds of damage to your body. Like, you could rupture your esophagus by binging and purging. You could make your stomach burst by binging and purging. You could end up having a heart attack from it. You could have brittle bones. You can have brittle teeth. You could end up losing the ability to walk, losing the ability to talk. You could become blind or deaf from it too. You can even burst the blood vessels in your head from doing it. And you can also burst blood vessels in your throat as well. You could end up choking on your vomit and die. And you could end up vomiting blood and die from that as well. So please, I cannot stress this enough. Please do not do any of these things. There are much healthier ways to lose weight. Personally, what I do to lose weight is I eat the enough required calories, which is 1,000 calories per day. I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, and I lift weights, and I also run, I also dance, and I also eat. I only allow myself to eat junk food once a week, and I don't follow any super crazy diets. I just eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. I know it's hard to trust food when you have an eating disorder. I fucking get it, 100%. But, you need to trust your body and trust your body that it knows what it's doing. Again, please do not engage in any of these behaviors. They are addictive. They could ruin your life, they could ruin your body, and you could die from them. So please do not do any of the things I mention in this video. I do not endorse it. I do not promote it. It is horrible. Alright, so when did the binging and purging start? The answer is in 2020. And in 2020 is when a lot of my trauma, as an adult started happening. I turned 18 and a fucking pandemic happened right after my birthday, which I am personally still offended by till this day. Cause what the fuck, bro? My birthday's on New Year's, which is supposed to be one of the happiest days of the year. And y'all fucking pull a pandemic on my ass? Come on, dude. Dude, what did I do to deserve that? What did the world do to... Actually, there are some dipshits in the world, but the majority of people are not bad, but not good either. So I honestly doubt enough people are bad enough to where a pandemic deserved to happen. But what did we do to deserve a fucking pandemic? I was going ape shit crazy being locked in my house for a fucking year. Not even kidding. I was literally going crazy. But in 2020, I ended up getting COVID. Well, actually, I got COVID in 2021 for the first time. And during that time, I was throwing up like crazy. And it was to the point where 5 minutes after I ate something, I would end up throwing up a bunch. And then, I started noticing that the numbers in the scale in my mom's bathroom got lower. So I was like, wow, this is actually really good. I could lose weight this way. Keep in mind, I was already dangerously underweight at the time because I have ARFID. So, I had a fear of eating because I was afraid of choking, dying, or getting sick from it. So I thought, wow, if I lose weight, I'll be considered attractive, because this was at the time when I started experiencing more trauma in regards to people bullying me for my appearance. I was being bullied, the hate started getting really bad in 2020 to the point where I was getting death threats and people were threatening to go to my house and rape me. No, I'm not kidding. People were threatening to go to my house and rape me. Yes, rape as in sexual assault. I'm not kidding. The death threats got so extreme to where I had to take a break from social media for a month. And within a week, binging and purging already took over my life. For the first year of doing it in 2021, I only did it 2 times a day. But in 2022, it started getting a lot worse. While I was recovering from ARFID, I replaced one eating disorder behavior with another instead of actually being in recovery. And it was around that time I started gaining weight, and I ended up starting to binge and purge more because I thought, I need to eat less and throw up more. So I did. But the problem is, when you're binge eating, you very quickly start losing control. You could eat a whole, cupboard of food within a day. I'm not kidding. My parents have caught me going through and eating a whole cupboard of food at one point. I would steal food from other people, even if I knew they were the ones that paid for it and not me. I would steal food from friends and family. I would do that so much where I lost the majority of my friends because of my binging and purging addiction. I stole money from people to get food. I'm not kidding. I've stolen money from people. And, I still hate myself for doing that till this day. And I started going back into pro-ED communities, but I myself never did promote it. I just looked at the content. I looked at Finspiration, which don't Google it. It can be very triggering, but I'll give you a description of what Finspiration is. Finspiration is basically a collage of images you find on the internet of dangerously thin people, and you often make a Finspiration collage to encourage yourself to keep on either starving yourself, binging and purging, or just simply purging, or any other eating disorder behavior you could think of. So I started looking at Finspiration 10 or 11 times a day. Like, possibly way more than that. Like, it was so bad to where, like, my little sister knew something was wrong, and I think she had a feeling something was wrong, because I think she did. I don't know for sure, but I think she did catch me binging and purging. I'm pretty sure she did. And no 8-year-old kid should ever have to fucking see their older sibling suffer from an eating disorder. But like, she said, Star, why are you not happy with your weight? And I said, because I'm really overweight. And she said, you're skinny though. Like, I think you could die if you keep doing this. Like, she literally knew I could die from it. Like, no 8-year-old child should have to tell their older siblings. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. No 8-year-old child should ever have to tell their older sibling, I don't want you to die because you hate yourself. And when I moved into my previous group home, I thought it was gonna be safe for me to live with religious people, because I thought, well, it's a new environment and maybe I could, like, expand my horizons and become a Christian. So I did become a Christian. Problem is, Christianity caused my eating disorder to get so much worse. In the Bible, it actually, like, says that women who are not thin, or people assigned female who are not thin, are going to hell. There's, like, one variation of the Bible that says that. I'm not kidding. You can look it up. And in that group home, I started gaining weight randomly for no apparent reason. Or so I thought. But what I didn't know at the time is that binging and purging can cause your body to not be able to lose weight anymore. Essentially, I damaged my metabolism to where now I can't eat the majority of things that I enjoy anymore. Because if I do, I'll end up gaining a bunch of weight. Like, for example, most average people can eat ice cream once a week probably and not gain any weight. But now, I have to eat far smaller amounts of ice cream. Like, I can't even eat sweets on most holidays or anything anymore, because if I do, there's a chance I could gain weight from them. And it sucks that I damaged my metabolism to where now I have to be very, very careful of what I eat, or I will literally gain so much weight to where it could cause me to lose mobility. And I'm not kidding. But I randomly started becoming very plump and very big very, very fast, which caused me to binge and purge more. And in that group home, the staff there would make jokes like, oh, like, you're gonna gain weight to where you're not gonna be able to fit in a doorway. And then I would pretend to laugh and I'd be like, yeah, I guess you're right, I should probably eat less. Problem is, I physically could not stop myself from eating. I felt hungry all the time, and then I felt guilty all the time, which resulted in me purging. And then the cycle repeats. I would feel hungry again. I would eat a bunch, and then I would force myself to throw it up. And then it just kept going and going and going until there is one particular incident that happened that made me finally realize I have to stop or this could fucking kill me. 2 weeks before my 21st birthday, I binged on a whole bag of Kit Kats, a whole tub of ice cream, a whole 2-liter bottle of soda, a pizza, yes, a whole pizza, excuse me, and also coffee, and then I forced myself to throw it up, but then I saw I was throwing up blood. Yeah, it was that bad. I was throwing up blood. I actually don't know if it was blood or not, but it was very dark red. In my head, there's no way, personally, for me, in my personal opinion, there's no way that it wasn't blood. The way it looked, there's no way it wasn't blood. I'm gonna say that right now. It was around this time that my friends also noticed. My friends and family, my mom one day, she told me, Star, you look so tired and you look so miserable. And I realized if I didn't stop, my mom would outlive her child, which is me. And I don't want my mom to have to bury any of her babies, myself included. And I think my dad noticed something was wrong, the way he looked at me and stuff. I think he knew something was going on with me, but he just didn't know. I love my dad. Please, guys, do not diss my dad. He has the best intentions. He just never encountered anything like an eating disorder or anything before. But he said, why can't you just eat? Why can't you just stop throwing up? Why can't you keep it down? I love you. I don't want you to die, and that kind of thing. And my little brother, he also said, my little brother, I think he also caught me at one point binging and purging. And he said, you look sick, Star. Are you okay? And my older sister, she was so freaked out that she didn't say anything, I don't think. It was my little sister's reaction in particular that really broke my heart because she's so young. No child should witness their older sibling suffering like that. It's traumatic for them. But my little sister, one day, grabbed my hand and, she said, I don't want you to die, Star. I want you to stay. And she kept saying that to me. Until one day, when I vomited, I think it was blood. I don't know 100% for sure. I was I have to recover, or I could die, or worse, I could end up losing more independence. So on that day, I decided to recover, and I finally slowly started telling people about it. The first person I told was my best friend. Let's call them O. I told O, and I said, I don't know if I'll be able to recover. And they looked at me, they said, I believe you can recover. They said something along the lines, I don't remember exactly, but they said, I don't want you to die from this. You could, I think they knew about what this kind of behavior could do, because they told me I don't want you to rupture your stomach and die from it. And I knew they were right, that if I did it one more time, I could have definitely ruptured my stomach and died. I'm not kidding. And then that summer, I moved out of that abusive group home, and I moved into the current group home I'm in now, which they helped tremendously with my eating disorder recovery. They always tell me, the number on the scale does not determine your worth. It's normal to gain and lose weight. Weight fluctuates. And honestly, if it wasn't for this group home, I probably would be dead by now. And I'm not kidding. I am 100% sure I would have been dead by now because of this addiction. Not only did this group home save my life, but I started seeing a dietitian to help me lose weight. And she said, when I told her about my binging and purging, she said, all right, listen, Star, the way you're going, not going to be good. You could die at any day if you keep going. And you could even go blind or deaf completely. Like, you are already legally blind. It's best to, like, protect whatever, like, amount of vision you have. And, like, she had to test me for diabetes, because people who binge and purge are really, really high risk for being pre-diabetic or fully diabetic. Thank fucking God I was not anywhere close to being diabetic. And I am not. My cholesterol is at a slightly high, but mostly normal level. It's not anything of super big concern. I am able to control when to eat and when to stop eating a lot better. I still overeat once in a while, but it's not like a relapse. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like everyone accidentally either overeats or undereats once in a while. And now I lost nearly 50 pounds after choosing to recover from binging and purging. And honestly, I have a lot of people to thank, because if it weren't for them, I probably would have died, like, a long time ago. Unfortunately, my body never really bounced back from binging and purging. My voice is permanently damaged because of it. You can hear a little bit of rasp in my voice. My hair and nails are still very brittle, even though I'm eating a lot of healthy shit now. Like, I have protein shake powder. I sometimes eat salads. I eat a lot of chicken noodle soup. And I limit my intake of dairy. Like, I drink lactose-free milk now. I eat a lot of things with fruit in it, like yogurt, smoothies. I also eat a lot of bananas because I need more potassium, because I also have acid reflux, which basically means your stomach produces too much acid in it, which is basically the same health condition as corpse husband. So yes, I do have GERD, also known as acid reflux. I believe the type I have is called pediatric acid reflux, which is when you're born with it. And I've had acid reflux since I was born. But like, my teeth hurt all the time, even after recovery. I'm pretty sure I will have to get dentures at a much earlier age because of my binging and purging. Unfortunately, which is really, really sad to think about. That I know for a fact that I could have heart problems, I could have kidney problems, I could have liver problems at an earlier age, all because of extreme dieting. At any moment, my body could actually give up, even though I am fully recovered. Like, you know the famous, like, singer Karen Carpenter? She was several months into eating disorder recovery. Like, she no longer did any of the eating disorder behaviors, but she still died of heart failure at 36 years old, I believe. And I'm afraid that will happen to me. Like, I am really afraid of that. And it's really upsetting, because if I would have known what I know now, I would have never ever done it. I would have never done any of the things I've done, because I also abused the fuck out of laxatives. I would order laxatives off of Amazon, and I would take like 3 or 4 pills like per day, sometimes after every meal. That was probably the lowest of the lowest that I felt about myself. I hated everything about myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I existed. I thought 2016 was my lowest point, but 2022 was even lower than 2016. 2022 was the year that I was probably in the worst mental state of my life. I am honestly surprised that no one took me to hospital, because, like, I could have definitely died. Like, I was in a downward spiral to where I could have died. And as of 2023, like mid-2023, I finally realized, like, I don't want to die, I want to live, you know? Like, I have a life worth living, and I want to do something with my life that I just want to be happy and I want to have fun for the rest of my life, and I'm done caring about what other people think of me. I also, like, as soon as I left that group home, I realized being a Christian is not good for my mental health. So I left the Christian faith. I never, like, went to church or anything, but I left the faith. And that decision saved my life. Leaving Christianity saved my life. And more recently, when I started practicing witchcraft and Satanism, it has given me more peace in my life. And if it wasn't for witchcraft and Satanism, I probably would not be here right now. I probably would still be binging and purging. I probably would still be self-harming. I probably would still be restricting my calories. Like, I'm thankful for the deities I work with because they saved my life. And I will forever be grateful. And now I know that I have a future that I am working towards, and that I have a life worth living now. I have things to look forward to, and I am slowly, very, very slowly getting my old life back when I was happy, back when I was 17. I am slowly getting my life back, and I'm slowly getting my old body back. I still struggle with chronic pain, but that's like a whole different ballpark, you know? Excuse me. But I am finally, like, getting happiness again. I am able to look at myself in the mirror and sometimes go, you know what? I look okay today. I still am very insecure about my body and shit, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? If people don't like it, fuck them, honestly. Like, fuck off, dude. It's my body, not yours. If you're gonna complain about it, just block me. To anyone who is struggling with the eating disorder or disordered eating symptoms or anything like that, I just want you to know you're not alone, and there are resources out there to help you. Personally, one resource I highly recommend, especially for people like me who are non-binary and who struggle with eating disorders, is the Trevor Project. I have used their text crisis hotline and their call hotline before, their call crisis hotline, and they quite literally also saved my life too. I'm not kidding, they saved my life. So I highly recommend that resource. And I want you guys to know you're not alone. There's help out there. And if you can't afford therapy, there are crisis hotlines you can call. You can go to your local hospital to be admitted. You can also, like, online therapy is a lot cheaper. So, but be careful of online therapy though. I've had friends who had bad experiences on there. But there are some resources out there that are cheaper and more affordable online. So I highly recommend looking into that. And I also recommend talking to other people with eating disorders, because that's what's helped for me. I've met people who have eating disorders who recovered, and they've given me advice on how to work through my eating disorder. And if it wasn't for, like, if it wasn't for these people, I probably would not be here, and I probably would still not be in recovery. Also, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to become a starling. And also, thank you to my patrons. I will list all of the names at the end of the video. But thank you guys so much for watching, and stay strong, and I love you guys, and goodbye!